is Alyssa.
And I'm Emilie.
And you're listening to Slash and Slay, a horror podcast. Happy New Year, everybody!
Happy 2025, guys.
It's a new year. It's a new day.
And I'm feeling good.
And we have something new in this year of 2025. Sitting across from me.
He's not a spider.
It's not a spider under a book.
No.
It's not my Christmas tree. I put that up.
It is our dear, dear friend.
Dear friend. Her name is... Just drag it
It's
out.
therapist Nadine.
It's Nadine. That actually works out perfectly with what we're talking about.
But it's just Nadine. She's not a therapist.
Yeah, she's not a therapist.
She's a wonderful actress, performer.
She lives in LA. She left us.
She hates us.
She hates us. She goes there. She doesn't talk to us. She comes back and then it's all great. Okay, Nadine, you can talk.
Hi, guys.
We just talked like that the whole time. Never let her
speak. Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Good.
We're good.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me on this first ever episode.
Yeah, this is the first
How
episode.
would you know? It's the first episode we've ever done.
This is the first
Of
one.
Slash and Slay, but with a guest.
Exactly.
Slash and Slay with friends.
Slash and Slay and friends. Slash and Slay your friends.
We rate you at the end. We say if she's a slash or a slay.
Oh, I was gonna say we kill her. We kill your friends.
No.
We kill your friends.
That is again a very good segue to our topic for today.
It really is. We're amazing at that.
Mm-hmm.
So Nadine's not really a horror movie watcher.
I'm not, no.
But
long as
every
I know
time that she's here, we force her somehow.
We do.
They convince me. They offer me snacks. They offer me Diet Coke.
Actually,
and they say...
I don't offer anything. I offer my house and my TV, and I say I have no snacks.
Which is all we need, honestly. But I feel like every time you come here, you like mention a horror movie that you're like, oh, I heard good things about that. We're like, let's watch it.
Yeah.
Like Midsommar, we're like, let's watch it. You know, like
Yeah.
this is the one time we'll get her to watch it. Or like Pearl.
You
And
need
you've
to
liked
watch
both of those.
I really enjoyed both of those.
Yes.
Yeah, see?
You have me rethinking whether or not I like horror films.
Well,
I think you do. You like the very thoughtful ones, not just like the straight up gore and
Which is the same with us too. We don't.
yeah.
So
that
you're
is
saying
true.
I have taste.
We won't go
Well,
that far.
we'll see.
Oh my
We'll
gosh.
see about that by the end of the...
I didn't tell you about my New Year's Eve experience.
Okay. Lay it on us.
I went to, we're in a comic book club, and he was like hosting a New Year's party for New Year's Eve. So I went, and there's this girl there that was like, girl was drunk, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But super sweet, very kind, like, love her. She was even like asking me about the podcast, very sweet. And she was like, I don't know if she was like, well, first she wasn't drunk and it was fine. She was just like, was trying to convince me to watch the Saw movies because she says like Saw is her favorite and like she really resonates with Saw. And she was like telling me about stuff that I was like, oh, I didn't even realize that that's like what it's like about to some people, because I thought it was just like,
Yeah.
you know, gore. What do they call it?
Body horror?
Yeah, but I was thinking like torture porn. That's what I thought. Yeah, I thought it was like just torture porn. I told her that, and she was like, no, it's not. And then like after it was midnight, and I was drunk too, and we were both like, let's watch Saw. Like, I can't wait to watch Saw together. So now I'm gonna watch Saw with her.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
That was on my list of movies I wouldn't watch.
yeah, it is.
I'm not sure how much Diet Coke it would take to
get
convince
you to
me to
watch
watch that one. Yeah.
I think it wouldn't take very much for if we were like Nadine
Like,
and
please,
Sue are
Nadine,
watching.
come watch it.
You would you would.
I think you would. You would just be like
You would hate
eyes
it
closed the whole time.
but-
Yeah, and you'd be like vocal about your hatred for it. But
Yeah.
we'd be like, yeah, Nadine, shut up. Like, you're fine.
What are
Yeah,
you gonna
I
do?
don't
Get in your
know.
car and drive away? Haha, you don't have one.
I can ride home.
You can't.
No, that's not. I'm like, I don't know. I'm scared. I'm scared to watch it. But she was talking about how it's like a lot about like police brutality
It
and
is.
things like that,
There
which I
is,
didn't
like-
realize at all.
Like a rich versus rich man, eat the rich.
Once again, good segue.
Yes. Anyways, Nadine, do you have any sort of favorite horror movie that you've seen?
Y'all know my whole repertoire as far as
3.
Is that really it?
We went to go see it in the theaters.
Yes.
And I really enjoyed that.
Yes.
With Skarsgård. I really liked the jump scares. I enjoyed the suspense of it. I've started watching more Jordan Peele films.
Okay.
We love him.
He's great.
Really enjoyed Get Out.
Yes.
I started to watch Us.
Did you get too scared?
I got too scared. I turned it off.
Because it's like home invasion. It's
Us, I
very,
can't. It's scary.
It is. Us is the scariest one for sure.
Well, my power went out. Sorry, I should say my lights went out. Power was so the movie was still playing. I still had some power, but all the lights went out in the house halfway through the film.
No,
I was home alone. I was watching this movie, and I was like, I really don't. So I turned on Pride and Prejudice instead.
Smart.
Yeah, I don't blame you for that at all.
No. Us, I don't think I'll ever watch that one. Really? I watched it once, and then I was like, well, terrifying.
I love Winston Duke.
I know you do.
He's
very fine. He's a fine man. But when I it's the underground secret world.
Yeah.
Like very like what's it called? H.G. Wells, like sci-fi freaky stuff. That's like
Did you ever find out what happened?
No, I have no idea what happened.
So you're just learning. It's literally a mirror world underneath. That's where they come from.
There's like a double. You have a double that lives underneath.
And it's like the evil.
They're evil because they're resentful that we get to live above ground.
Yeah. Well, Jordan Peele is very conceptual like that, which I really appreciate because
everything has meaning. Yeah. Everything has a purpose.
Well, and it's kind of like with Nope and with Get Out. He does it in a way that I'm like, no, I'm on board. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is a very foreign concept to me, but it doesn't take much to convince me and go, no, that makes sense. I'm on board. Sure, this is a world where this exists or that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Yeah. That's why I've said, like, I have a hard time getting into fantasy because I don't want to build a new world. Like, I just want to have, like, my world and then something a little different that I can easily accept is a little off and a little different.
How Jenna Fisher of you.
I know, yeah. I'm just so different. Just so different. But Us, I think, was very, like, I don't know. Sometimes that sci-fi stuff gets me freaked out. But I do love Nope. I've rewatched Nope many times.
I love Nope.
And I also think that it's a great way to, like, talk about social issues through horror because it is, like, a good way to show people scary concepts that they don't want to face in real life, but they're like, you have to now, you know, like.
And this is sometimes in this bigger scope.
Yeah.
So.
And like, yeah. Imagine if this was real. Oh, wait, it is.
Right. It actually is real.
Oh, wait, there are poor people. What?
I can't believe it.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Well, first we have to start off with Slash and Slays. So do you have any Slash and Slays of the past year?
Yeah, you can do the whole year.
You can do the whole
Introduce
year.
me to Slash and Slays. Show me an example.
An example is, well, it's just basically like if you like something or don't. So like, I'm trying to think if I have any Slash or Slays. Slash.
You can. Well, we are gonna have a whole Nosferatu episode.
Yes, we are gonna.
But do you want to slash or slay it? Because I can do that.
I can't. I honestly can't.
Okay.
Because I feel like I need to talk about it.
Okay.
Before I can even make my decision, I feel like I need to talk to you about it.
Podcast that is called The Best Movie Ever or something like that. And the way they rate it is they say like worst movie ever or best movie ever. And I'm like, yeah, that's how Slash and Slays are. Like it's either good or it's not, and there's no in between.
There's
there's no stars. It's all Slash or Slay.
So this is all film related. Like
or books, or TV shows,
whatever,
or any sort of horror media, or thriller. We really count a lot of thrillers as horror.
Okay.
Have you read any books? Have you seen any movies? Have you had any experiences that you would slash or slay?
So this past year has been really dedicated to producing theater.
Love that.
So I would say there's been a lot of slashes and a lot of slays as far as plays go, as far as musicals go. Right now I'm working on a little cabaret. It's called Dreamworld Cabaret, where I'm playing Eliza Doolittle. So I just watched a few renditions of My Fair Lady with my family, to their dismay. So I would say that My Fair Lady is a slash this past week.
So bad?
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a slay.
We couldn't tell her which was which. Slay, it's like slay, and then slash is like you cut it.
I was like, oh, you don't like My Fair Lady.
Oh.
Okay. Well,
So My Fair Lady is a sleigh.
Slay.
of course.
Slay.
I
Slay all
would say
day.
I was just in a production of Constellations by Nick Payne. That was also a sleigh.
No, it's a slash for me. Hate that play.
I'm
I
gonna
was
have
like,
to slash it. I haven't
Lord.
seen it. Don't.
Well, it was probably the rendition I
And
did.
then the playwright Nick Payne also created the loose screen adaptation of the play with Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh called We Live in Time.
Oh.
Went to go see that in theaters recently. It is also a sleigh.
I can't
Okay.
go see that. It looks so sad.
It's so good. It's so
Is
good.
it sad?
Very sad, very sad.
She
but
has
very
cancer.
She has cancer.
good. She doesn't survive.
Yeah.
I can't go see that.
That's like Constellations is like that's the whole thing.
That's
And
a
it
lot
kind of
the
like
play.
goes back and forth in time and stuff.
Yeah,
Does
with
it do that?
it doesn't do that with the film. They have like a linear timeline.
Okay.
That's kind of the concept that's left out, but it's the same, like different characters, different professions, but the same heart of the story is a couple that loves each other very much, and like how do you deal with these certain obstacles in life.
Sad.
Yeah.
So that's definitely been a sleigh.
I slash it. Never seen it.
I
Obviously.
slash it because it sounds sad and horrifying too.
It is horrifying.
It is a horror film.
I
will
believe
say.
stuff like that's a horror film.
Yeah.
It's
We
like
constitute it.
a worse nightmare for me. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for you with your hypochondria.
yeah.
I also did a production of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, but modernized.
Ooh.
That was a sleigh.
Slash.
No, Slay. It wasn't the Muppet version.
Horrifying.
No, it was not the Muppet version. You're okay.
Michael
Don't worry.
Caine was unavailable, unfortunately.
Aw.
But we did get a few
Michael Caine.
Muppet understudies to join us. So very special.
Sorry, Alyssa.
Oh, wait, are you serious?
Kermit the Frog.
Kermit. You know that this is totally off track. But you know, okay, I don't know if you know because I don't know if you watched it. Frenemies with Ethan and Trisha. When she was like, close your eyes. What is this? Who am I? Kermit the Frog.
She just said the exact name.
He's like, what? She's like, what's that impression of? He's like, Kermit the Frog. Oh, I love Trisha.
I have not stopped laughing about the. Do you think Selena Gomez named her
Her
cosmetic line
After that rare disease?
Rare beauty because of her rare disease?
Oh.
Yeah, very
Am
sad.
I the first guest on this podcast because you couldn't get Trisha to be the guest?
We've asked her every single
We
week.
ask her all the time and she doesn't.
She's on Broadway now. She's too big for us.
Yeah, she just doesn't believe in what we do anymore.
No,
So,
she's fake.
but we love her.
No, we love her. We love you, Trisha. Please be a guest on our podcast for the 500th time we ask you.
Yeah.
Do you slash or slay Charles Dickens?
I would slay Charles Dickens. Totally.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very
Him or Christmas Carol?
both, definitely.
Both, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Trying to think if I have any slashes for those have all been slays because that's what I'm excited about. But if
Love
I had
that.
any slashes this year,
Sorry, I just thought of a sleigh.
think.
I think of a sleigh.
I think of one.
Say it.
I read a book.
Ooh,
24 hours.
She can read.
I can read Run on Red by Noelle W. Ely.
How fast do you think I would die in that?
It was, for those who don't know, Nadine included, because I'm sure she doesn't know. It is about two girls who are on their way to a bonfire college party, and some people like run up on them and essentially like drive them off the road and then chase them.
They basically, they run them off the road, try to attack them. The girls like get away, but they have like a car that doesn't have working seat belts. Like they're poor college students.
Yeah.
They're like, one girl is really into true crime, and her other friend's like, you're just paranoid. And then this one time she's not just paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
They run them off the road. Their car gets stuck in a ditch and they can't get out. And then they're like hunted through the woods by these people.
Mm-hmm.
I love this.
It I slay it, obviously, because I slay her.
Mm-hmm.
it was just not what I expected it to be in the end.
Me
Like,
either.
at all. Like, even the meaning of the Run on Red, like the title. Let's see. I feel like you're definitely, what's her face?
The one that was in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
The one that would die.
Yeah, because you wouldn't follow me.
The one that did all the stupid things.
Yeah.
I wouldn't follow you? Yeah, you're right. I wouldn't. Sorry.
You wouldn't get in the back of a truck and follow me. It had
No.
like a little bit of intensity vibes, like the way she like gets in the.
And the way she was like reacting to her best friend, because that was like something that I didn't like about Intensity, was like they took away her best friend so quickly.
Yeah.
And then I feel like, what was the point of that? It's just to be sad.
Because you didn't get to know her, but
No.
you really got to know her in this.
Yeah.
Anyways, I say that.
You slay it.
That sounds like a slay.
Yeah. And I haven't read anything else recently. And I haven't really watched anything besides Nosferatu.
I've heard very good things about Nosferatu.
It's on Nosferatu. I
saw
watched,
Nosferatu.
I think last week, Christmas week, and up until like right before New Year's, I watched Christmas Vacation,
Very good.
Elf,
Yes, classic.
Nosferatu on Christmas Day,
Mm-hmm.
What a good time
and then
to
I
see
watched Pacific Rim, a
Okay.
Guillermo del Toro movie from a long time ago.
All right.
Then I watched, there's some other movie that was like silly, something else, and then I did watch American in Paris the other day.
I
Okay.
love American in
I
Paris.
do love American in Paris. None of those horror. And I'm still not done with one of my books that I'm reading, so I have nothing to
You're
really.
still not done?
No, you're truly like a book, like a proper bookworm.
I just haven't. We both are, I think. I've been.
Yeah, I am too, Nadine.
Are you
Yeah.
sure?
Count me
She
in.
reads. I think when you're in your reading mood, you read way more than I do. But
I read 3 or 4 books in a week.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's crazy.
It's
You're crazy, darling.
It's been taking me
You're
several weeks
crazy.
to get through one. But I have read a couple of good books here the last
That's good.
year and a half.
Nothing horror related.
Nothing horror related, all acting related. I just finished Stella Adler's The Art of Acting.
Good one.
Okay.
Very
love Stella.
highly recommend it. Love Adler. I also finished Self Management for Actors by Bonnie Gillespie. Great show business books. Highly recommend it. And then, of course, The Office BFFs
Yes.
with Jenna Fisher and
She's
Angela
on
Kinsley.
My
I'm looking at
coffee
it
table.
now.
couldn't think of the word.
Coffee table. I just feel like I am back in my reading mood, which is good. But
I'm
I
trying to
really
get
wasn't
into
going
reading.
to the gym for like the past like month, and that's when I do a lot of my most of my reading. So, and I also had so many freaking gifts to make, so I just had no time, and I was not in the audiobook mood.
Yeah.
But now I am. I'm ready. I'm gonna hit the ground running, and I'm gonna read whatever I want
Good.
this year.
Do you still have your Kindle?
I do, of course. It's with me right now. Oh, I started reading Neverwhere, Neil Gaiman, dark fantasy, horror-esque. Although I did find out that he's like canceled.
Yeah.
Oh, so there's
unfortunately.
so there's canceled and then there's canceled.
It's like confirmed canceled.
Okay,
You know what
okay.
I mean? Like if you're
Confirmed.
canceled, they're like, oh, canceled. But if it's like confirmed canceled, I'm like, oh, they're canceled.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like 5 women came forward. So he's like canceled.
That's
Yeah.
a lot of women.
There's a lot of women to have wronged.
That's
So,
literally 5 too many.
5 too many women to have molested. Neil, you done.
Yeah, done.
You done.
But Emily's still reading your books.
Sorry. I just got them for Christmas.
Sorry. But all of this leads us to our topic today. Now, for our longtime listeners and our fans that love us the most, you will know we did something bad today.
I did something
I
bad.
did something bad.
Why did it feel so
Why it feel so good? And we watched a movie we said we wouldn't watch. Because
Smile. No, I'm kidding.
Smile 2. No. But we did watch Speak No Evil.
We watched Speak No Evil,
Speak No Evil.
which we refused to watch purely because of the
The
sheer amount of
freaking
times we saw
trailers.
that dang trailer. It would not leave my screen. My phone screen, my TV screen, my movie screen. Everywhere I looked, I saw that
My
little
TikTok
kid
screen.
pretending to, yes, TikTok screen, cut his tongue out.
Yeah.
And I was sick of it.
Marketing really went off for that one.
They did.
They went off the rails.
They did because it made a lot of people not want to watch it.
Yeah.
There's
I
just
feel
too
like
much of it?
I feel like it affected.
It's like all my, like, my friend Heather, my friend Emily, they were both like, if I see that commercial one more time, I'm going to lose it. And they're like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch that movie. Like, I'm not going to watch it because of that. And the fact that, like, James is in there, our man James, and I was
James
like, still like, no,
McAvoy?
I can't do that because
James McAvoy.
McAvoy.
We
Yeah.
James McAvoyed that bit.
We avoided him. But the other day, we were having our lovely little girl time with our lovely friend Nadine, and she said, speak no evil. She mentioned speak no evil.
Yeah. And she was like, and we were like, we're not going to watch that. And she was like, I kind of want to watch it. We're like, okay.
Yeah, we're like, okay. Because,
over.
again, if she mentions a movie that she's, like, semi-interested in, that's
We're
horror, we're like,
watching
all right, time to watch
it.
it now. So we just finished
Now we just
watching
finished it.
just moments ago.
Mm-hmm. What y'all guys think?
What do you guys think?
What do you guys think of it?
Um,
First off, if you don't know what it's about a couple who's on this vacation. They meet this other couple with this, like, kid who's kind of weird and doesn't speak. And
that's rude.
He seems weird and kind of doesn't speak.
Okay.
And then they
Not
go.
weird because he
they
doesn't
get invited. They get invited to
Speak no evil.
speak no evil to me.
Pardon.
And then they get invited to their house out in the country, and then as they're out there, the couple, which is James McAvoy and some other lady, start acting really, really strange, and they gotta get out of there. Do they get out of there?
Who's to say?
They had a lot of opportunities. I will give them
They
that.
were given many
Multiple.
opportunities to leave.
It was one of those infuriating, like, just...
I don't want to give anything away.
We can spoil it.
We can spoil
Because
it.
we tell them we're going to spoil it.
Amazing.
Say no, we
Spoilers.
spoil.
Spoilers.
So I really appreciated. This is the first time I've seen in a horror film, all four I've seen, where the bad guy says, you know, like the victims are like, "Why are you doing this to us?" And then when the bad guy says, "Because you let me," I was like, "Wait, that's really," I thought, profound. And there was so much honesty in it. I'm like, wait, I'm now invested. I really appreciate the storyline.
Yeah, it makes you, like, appreciate all of the things that came before and why he acted so strangely, because he's like, I know no matter how strangely I act, these people are going to do whatever they can to not be impolite.
Yeah, it's like the weird, like, which I 100% get, because I have, excuse me.
Oh.
I have, I spoke some evil there. I have done things that I was not comfortable doing because I was trying to be polite.
And it's so much easier
I've been
to
lured
say.
to a home.
Yes, I mean, that's what, like, whenever I worked at Aldi and I had to call the cops on the guy who wanted to take photos of me on the side of the road, and I was like, I got blamed because I didn't say no. It's so much easier to say, just say no.
Yeah.
But when you're in that position, you're a woman, you're a young woman, you've been taught your entire life to be, like,
Be polite.
appeasing, be polite, be accommodating.
Well, I think you want to be, because otherwise there's, like, some confrontation that
Exactly.
that is inevitable, and who
You
wants
don't
that
know.
with a
You
stranger?
don't know.
Yeah.
Some people would react to a firm no, and some people would react badly to a firm no.
Yeah. And
You just don't know.
I mean, it's easier for, you know, say a man to say no because they're men. They're taught to say, you know, whatever they want. But women, like, I mean, I especially was grown up to be like, do not be confrontational. No confrontation, you know. So I think that being in that position, which, number one, I would not go to a stranger's home in the middle of the country. But if I had, and I was in that position, I would be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, like, I
Trying
would
to
also be like,
appease
it's going to be
and-
fine. It's fine. Like, weird, but it's fine. Like, the other day, I accidentally got an Airbnb where people are living underneath me. And I was like, oh, I'm in an Airbnb with strangers. But I don't want to be rude because the owner saw me.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is weird. I'm not comfortable. It's freaking me out. And I still stayed to not be seen as rude. But what was it in My Favorite Murder, that podcast? They used to have like a slogan that was like, it's okay to be rude so that you don't die, or so, like that was basically the slogan.
Interesting.
Like,
Yeah.
to try and make it like normalize that it's okay to be quote unquote rude to preserve your life, you know.
Yeah.
They were catchier than that, but
Well, it's like, I think about, you know, it's the same situation like me and my husband on our honeymoon. The guy that owned the place wasn't supposed to be there, which is fine. It's he lives underneath, so it's fine if he's there. But he wasn't supposed to be. He told me he wasn't going to be there. And then there was like a truck there, and I had messaged him to be like, hey, there's a truck here, and you said you were going to be here. And we had all the doors open and stuff, and then we just hear like, hello, travelers. And we both froze. Like, it was like, that could have been the start of a horror movie.
Yeah.
Honestly. The way it was. Like, we both froze and, like, did not say anything. And then he was like, Alyssa? Because I was the one who booked it. And I was like, oh, yeah. You know, and then we got up and, like, talked to him and stuff.
But still.
But that could have been the start of a horror movie.
And I think also,
Truly.
like, their perception of these two characters, James McAvoy and that other girl, we need to know her name because I just keep calling her.
Yeah, I don't remember her name.
They are, like, they push for, like, this value of honesty and, like, transparency. And they never really hide anything. He doesn't hide his crazy. He doesn't hide...
That's a good point.
Any of that. She doesn't hide her injuries.
Yeah, she did just full out show him.
And because they know that, like, you know, they're like, oh, just be honest, just be honest. They know that even if
I guess they hid their intentions.
Yeah, they did hide their intention. Not that they were, like, purposely trying. Like, you know, they were just kind of, like, being, like, aversive and, like, overtly honest in other ways.
Yeah.
To, like, be distracting. And it's, like, even if... It's, like, that thing where, like... Was it that lady on the subway or something? She was, like, dying this past week and nobody said anything because they were just like, oh, somebody else will come along. And it's like you can see all of these bad things and people still choose to ignore it to not have to deal with anything uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Which I get.
Or inconvenience.
Yeah.
Which I get too because I want inconvenience to take me out for a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you see that a lot in the film, like lots of themes of like, I'm just gonna sit back because it's more comfortable to not confront this.
Right. And then we're sitting on the couch like, leave. Even though we probably
I would be still there, yeah.
Although the one thing I will say is when they went to go leave the first time, they actually left. They escaped. And then the little girl needed her bunny back. So they like went back.
Ugh.
I literally would have been like, they already felt like she needed to not have it. So I would have been like,
okay, cold turkey. Sorry, not ideal, but we're gonna have to do it.
Honey, we're gonna have to talk about the reason we're leaving this bunny.
I will say, I think like you were saying, Nadine, like the gender roles and everything in the family was very interesting too. And I think that you could see the driving force of like, what was it? Ben's wife. What was her name? Laura. Laura?
The main girl?
Yeah, the main girl.
Oh, what was her name?
See, we can't remember anything.
We just watched it.
Starts with an L, right?
It does.
Was it L?
With
Yeah.
an L. Anyway, girl with the L. she Louise
Came to me.
She was like not really afraid to confront the guy after a while. Like when she really truly didn't believe in something, she was not afraid to be like, that's weird that my daughter was in bed with y'all. That's weird that you did all these things. But it was her husband that was like, just calm down. Like, just
right. And he was like, let's make
just
the excuse.
Yeah, let's just find an excuse. Just it's okay. Eat the meat. You know, all of these things. So I think that was interesting too to see like somebody who was like, no, this is weird.
Well, and it was always called making an effort. Which I thought was interesting. Like anytime you lie or put on face, it's to make an effort. Whereas maybe honesty takes less effort.
True, because it's like out there, as opposed to being like a fake nicety.
No, there was like really interesting things with that, and I also found it interesting how I think it used like the traditional like family hierarchy because you had Patty, right, who somehow wiggled his way in over Ben. And so like you had like, right, the alpha, the head of this operation, the sick twisted guy Patty, and he decides to come in, and once he got Ben out of the way, once he got the father figure out of the way, it was like open season for everybody. And I found that so then this dad kind of became useless, and so the mom then has to step into this more masculine role, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna protect the kids. I found the whole thing very, very interesting, how it was like this domino effect.
Yeah. And it's like Ben was obviously like
he already felt emasculated.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
By the fact that
he doesn't have a job.
Yeah, and she did all this like move for him, was kind of supporting him in a sense, and then also like was sexting with another man.
Yeah. And he's like trying to do all these things to work on it, quote unquote. But I mean, there's something to be said about the honesty thing. Like, I think, you know, Patty and Kiara were like very honest, obviously, to the point where it's like uncomfortably honest sometimes. And like that obviously was like good for their relationship, even if he did groom her. But like Ben and Louise were not as honest with each other, and Louise was always the one being like, I'm trying, and Ben's the one that's like more happy to ignore it and like have a fun vacation, you know what I mean? And just like go along with somebody else making these decisions. And he's definitely not like your typical alpha male, you know, so I think that's was also like
head of the household or whatever.
But then on the opposite end of that spectrum, you have this emasculated man who's kind of now been removed, and then on the other side of the spectrum you have Patty, who like he will not let his wife or his quote unquote son walk past him without putting his hand around their neck and like being like super hyper controlling and
and there's the way that like he was always touching.
Oh, his acting was
it was
his
so
physical
good.
Acting was phenomenal
because it is like such like a power move to like touch someone.
Like that first time he grabbed his son's neck, I
it was so
clocked
telling.
it because I was like, if I ever see anybody do that, I know the kind of like
personally
father he is. Like he's a very controlling father.
Well, and the way that even like how he would always stand in these like power positions and these like powerful stances.
He loves, what's his name? That podcaster. That's really popular. That everybody loves. That's bald.
Oh, Andrew Tate.
Yeah, he loves Andrew Tate. He listens to Andrew Tate every day. I know it.
I can see it.
He does
McAvoy.
power.
Oh,
yeah.
Patty.
Patty loves Andrew Tate. That's why he wrote that book, Becoming a Cowboy. Becoming Your Own Cowboy.
I wonder.
Your own cowboy.
I'm assuming that's fictional, but I'm kind of curious now if there's.
I'm like, is this a Brokeback Mountain like thing? Like for real? Because he was kind of gay for Ben.
There was like some vibes where he was even like he was very sexual. So it's like very
towards all of them,
and you know, sexuality and power in that regards goes hand in hand. He was very sexual over literally every single character except for maybe the little boy. But even like at the end, the daughter, he was like, "Well, she's mine now, and
she's gonna take care of me.
Use her however I want." Like, ugh.
Yeah, disgusting.
It was very interesting, and like truly, just props to James McAvoy for all the work he put into this character. He's always blown me away as an actor. Especially with his physicality. Like, obviously he dominates in voice and everything, but it's always his physicality that blows me away, whether he's playing a half goat or is in Split. No matter what, it's always a masterclass in acting with him.
Yeah.
I mean, even in Split, like, the way, like, I can picture the cover and the way he's standing.
Yeah.
Like, how does he make himself look so tiny?
I know.
Like that. And then in this one, he looks like a hulking man. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
it's true control. It's like true control over his whole body.
He's incredible.
Yeah, he really is.
He's only 5'7". He looked like 7 foot in this movie.
Yeah,
the way he was acting.
He gives the energy of a much taller man. You know,
it was so bad. It was like the worst like climax of the movie. Like the evil guy's like basically comes back from the dead. We think he's like, we don't think he's dead, but we're like, okay, they're gonna escape, whatever. He comes around the corner and he's like, he's jacked.
He's jacked. There's no other way to put it, guys. Sweaty and wet, and like,
and we were all like,
okay.
All of us collectively were like, wait a minute, let him, hear him out.
I said, wait a minute, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna stay, and I will be your replacement wife. Yeah, it's okay. I will take good care of you, James. He looked so good. Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Yeah, why he kind of like...
We all literally had like a very similar reaction to that.
But, I mean, he's very powerful, and like power is attractive, and he was very attractive in that. No, even though he was like super creepy the entire time.
He was able to give off the charming plus the creepy plus like the like, I never want to go near you, but also like, come here. Like,
truly.
It was like I've had so many conflicting emotions.
And that is a very good manipulation
Mm-hmm.
tactic too.
Mm-hmm.
That's how like gets victims pulled in, because
Yeah.
it's like, and him with his wife, like especially looking back on it, you're like, oh, she like truly is a victim. Like
Mm-hmm.
there was never a point where I didn't entirely doubt that. I think she was
Right.
just extremely victimized, and the fact that he would be like angry, and then like console her with like
Yeah.
emotional, like super emotional, and then they like have sex every night.
Yeah.
And he'll also be like super emotional,
Super
and then also be very
whiplash.
angry, and then he'll be like, I love you. You know, like that is really a good tactic for
Right.
being an evil person.
Mm-hmm.
What I thought was interesting was that we never saw he and his wife. I don't believe so. Correct me if I'm wrong. We never really saw them behind closed doors, or like what their dynamic was one-on-one,
You're right.
until their hand is revealed and you see, oh, these are serial killers. Because then it was, you know, he hits her. He says, this is your fault. And then he like grabs her and kisses her, and he says like, go after them. This is up to you now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was such an interesting dynamic, because I was like, wait, we haven't seen what this couple is actually
You're right.
like.
It was literally like, it was from the perspective of, I really feel like the whole movie was, up until a point, was from the perspective of Louise
Exactly.
the whole time. And then it was, boom, once it was revealed, it was like you said, the honesty comes out.
Mhm.
And these characters like behind the scenes.
I thought that was interesting that both times he was like injured and she was immediately attentive to him.
Yeah.
And he goes, you messed this up. This is your fault.
Yeah.
Let me kiss you real quick. Now go fix it. You know?
Yeah.
Like, that is so freaky.
Mhm.
Because that is like perfect manipulation
Abuse,
victimhood.
yeah.
Like,
Well, and then I wonder with the two men, the guy that owns the restaurant and then the refugee, like what were...
He never came back though, the babysitter.
I think he was just a babysitter.
It was almost like a red herring
Yeah.
in a way.
Because I think when they were like playing hide and seek, I think if we had watched this in the theater, that would have been more of like a jump scare moment, because he was like, where are you guys? But it
Yeah.
wasn't scary because we're like watching it right here. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I can see what they were doing with that, but it was kind of like a throwaway moment just for them to be like, okay, the kid knows something and is trying to tell us something.
Right. Well,
This is the only time that they're like alone.
Yeah.
I do wonder what those relationships look like when they were being built, because the man that owns the little hideaway restaurant on the cliffside, Mike, when you see that, it's sort of like he's like, mate, I'm here to help you. What can I do? And everyone seems very attentive to this man. Everyone's like, how can I help you with this murder, with this stealing, with this robbing, with this plundering, with this everything? And I'm like that. So anyways, all that to say, James McAvoy was able to manifest the perfect character to justify all of that servitude and all of that, let me just be a part of you because you're so enticing to me.
Yeah.
And I think that's like what really gets Ben too, because he wishes like he was like that, you know, like he wishes he was able to hunt a fox or like be the man that the family needs and like lead, you know, not that he wants to be necessarily like him, but I think that like that masculine,
Oh,
you know,
totally.
He was
is
definitely preying on
appealing.
his weakness.
Yeah, and I think he knows what to prey on for each person.
Yeah.
And I think that was his downfall with Louise, is like he never figured it out, you know.
Ooh, that's a
true.
good point.
Because it's like, what
That's
does she
true.
have? Like he even tried like you're just gonna send a little text, and she's like, okay, then I'll tell you. I'll
Yeah,
tell you exactly what
that's true.
happens. I'm not self-conscious about it. You know what I mean? So I think they were very similar,
Yeah.
and she was just not so.
That's a really good point. And I'm sure like, cause it is like the friend, like he would befriend these people on vacation, and he was so charming and everything on vacation. And then when he invited them, you know, he would spend that time getting to know their like weaknesses and stuff. And like you said, he never figured out.
He's probably not used to a
Louise's.
girl being at all confrontational, and she
Right.
did challenge him on several things.
She did.
And yeah, he was not used to that. So
What do you
that was
guys think the point was of that little confrontational speech she had where she said, you know what, we're not going to invite you back in London because we're going to be divorced?
I think, like, because he was saying he wants honesty. I think that was the safest thing she could say. That was, like,
Yeah.
also juicy enough. Like, I kind of said, like, I was like, he wanted something honest. He wanted it to seem like their life is going to be ruined in some way because of this weekend. And I think that's what she thought would, like, let them leave. And eventually we realized that wasn't the case. But I think that's in her mind. She was like, this is the most honest thing that I can say that will get us all out of here. That is also true. And he can't see through my lies, because obviously he kept calling her like, you're lying, you know, and that was the truth. She's like, I don't know if we'll make it through.
Yeah.
But the only other truth was, I honestly think y'all are freaks and we're leaving, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think so too. I agree.
Do you agree?
I think so. Well, it stumped me at first. I was like, what is the point of this speech? Like, get in the car and drive away. But then I appreciate your point of just, he's looking for something. This gives it to him. And it is true honesty. And
again, it was just like them trying to appease.
You have to play the game. And that's something we talk about all the time. Even in Run on Red, bring it back to that. Yeah. They had to play the game. Because you know how serial killers are. They're super narcissistic. They want to think that they have control over you. And you have to play into that. And I think that was part of it too.
Oh, and that was so brilliant. Like, the hunt. He kept talking about, Patty kept saying, no, I'm a hunter. It's like, he's like, I don't even like the kill. That's not even what I enjoy about it. It's the hunt. It's the pursuit. And that also justified, because I don't feel like a lot of horror films are justified. It's sort of like, well, this is being drawn out for no reason. So this was a great story that like took the time to maybe justify the reasons for things being drawn out or for a hunt to go on. It's like, no, that's the pleasure for him. He's taking pleasure in playing with his food per se. And
yeah. And it's also freaky to think that like if you also think about it in all the time that it took him to build this like system and like, you know, things that he does, he had to, like she said, if that was true, she knew him since she was at 12.
Yeah.
Like that means he's had this planned out and he knows the kind of people that he needs to get to fund the lifestyle so he can continue to do this. And it's just like Creep. He find, have you ever seen that? I think you'd like it. It's found footage. It's like kind of silly fun, but it's also like he's a serial killer, but he's like wants to make the perfect film. And so he hires these like amateur filmographers to like do it, and then he'll like act like a completely different person. It's kind of like a funny.
He makes up these like stories and like
he's like I'm gonna die of cancer and I want to show this to my son, and he'll be like, just kidding, and then it's just weird. Anyway, I think that unique ways of like serial killers finding a way to like do their thing. And then also his justification was like, y'all are rich, so I can do this to fund my lifestyle. And y'all, nobody's going to miss y'all. You don't have a job. Yeah, this is my justification for it. This is fun for me.
So my question is, though, and it's maybe because I just didn't pay attention well enough, what happens to the parents? Because he told them a week from now you're going to tell your landlord that you're moving away from London.
He was saying he was going to do it because he had their information, so he was going to email them.
Thank you.
And he kills the parents. He said he put them in the lake. Yeah, that little lake, because he said that's where he was saying he should have let him die with his parents or something when they pushed.
Yeah, he said, "Don't worry, you'll be there soon."
Yeah, I knew the boy was going to be killed. I found it interesting that when Patty had the daughter Agnes in his arms with the gun to her head. And, you know, the father lays down his weapons. He says, like, he kind of reveals his hand and he says, you think I would actually hurt this peach? And I was sort of then interested. I was like, now I want to go back and look at the photos beforehand, because clearly he has no problem killing the boy. And I'm like, is there a gender dynamic there where he's like, no, I'm not going to hurt the little girls? I don't know. And it made me want to look back at the family photos and see how many little girls there were, because he didn't kill Agnes, obviously. He took Agnes as a wife. Yeah. Or not Agnes, I'm sorry. Kiara?
Yeah. Kiara, yeah.
And then he said once she was found dead, he said, okay, then Agnes is my new wife.
Yeah. I think that...
It showed only boys, though, as his son. As his sons.
He wouldn't kill little girls.
But then she said, I wanted a little girl. Yeah. And that's why I think they wanted Agnes.
But there were pictures with the family having a little girl. So
yeah, that's what I'm like, maybe
a little confusing.
They must have like killed the girls, I guess. I don't know what their MO was. But I think because he didn't have a wife anymore, he was like, well, I need somebody else to make it look like I'm... And obviously 12-year-old, great time to... impressionable mind, you know.
There were lots of themes with her as a little girl where she becomes a woman. That was a heavy theme I saw throughout the whole thing, even when she was faking having her first period, all of that.
It was like giving up your childhood,
her at the very end being saying, okay, I'm done with this stuffed animal here, like I'm passing it on.
Yeah. And also like her dad kind of wanting her to like grow up quicker. Her mom kind of like, not coddling, but what her dad thought was coddling as she's going along this, and her dad doesn't understand that, doesn't really care to understand, and he thinks it's like ridiculous that she's still clinging to childhood, and then all of a sudden it's force ripped out of her hand, and like I wonder how he feels about that too. You know what I mean? Because it's like,
yeah,
she didn't want the stuffed animal anymore. You know, like she had to become a woman really quickly.
Yeah,
trauma
will do it to you.
But again, I just wonder, like, I feel like we could have like a whole split, like 3-parter about his like building his life.
Yeah,
because just I mean,
it's
not that I want it, but I think it'd be interesting to think like how he groomed like Sierra this whole time to be like, this is what we do, this is how we do it.
It's very similar to like Gray After Dark in a sense, and then that book that I read,
Good night.
Near the Bone.
Okay. Yeah, like the self-preservation, and then it is crazy to think of like, you know, it's easy to be like, oh, I wouldn't this, I would never do this or anything like that, but when you're in that situation, you know nothing else, and you've seen all the things that this person can do, your self-preservation does kick in to some extent, and it sometimes has to go at the detriment of someone else. But I was sad that like it looked like she was gonna like maybe not kill them.
We didn't get to see, because the wife was put in a position where she could kill the family, or she could let them go.
She definitely hesitated.
She hesitated, and we were all with bated breath, like, is she going to help them? But then the wife took her chance to kill her, and didn't give her that opportunity, which
she's been given chances.
But she had been given chances before.
Totally, and that's a testament to the wife's preservation skills and like her survival instincts, which that was very strong throughout the whole film. But I will like always wonder, it's like, oh, was she gonna
if she had given a proper chance, if he had been dead, and like, like, would she, you know,
was she free from her shackles or not? But yeah, she was begging, please don't leave me with him, and then immediately was like,
I'll do anything.
Or was it simply the shift in power dynamics, and she's gonna serve whoever has the most power?
Probably more to that, because she is a victim, you know? Like, I definitely think that that's probably more like it.
That's maybe her way of self-preservation, is let me cling to whoever has the power in this situation.
It also makes me wonder why he had so much disdain for Aunt. Because if he's done this so many times and has had all these boys, obviously they're like a means to lure a family with a child that might be a little strange, or like a family that doesn't have a lot, and you know, people are look safer with children, you know, like you are going to trust them more. But it makes me wonder why he was like, I don't know if it's like he was so mean to Aunt in front of Ben because he thinks that that's what Ben wants to be to Agnes, because I think Ben has that like,
oh, interesting,
you're being ridiculous for wanting this doll. And you know, the way that Patty was like, you're being ridiculous, you can't even dance to Cotton Eye Joe, you know what I mean? Like, I think that him letting it out, but then Ben like actually did say something. It's like, he's just a kid. It's like, why can you say that about Aunt but you can't about your daughter, you know? Like, that's kind of interesting too. But it makes you wonder why. Like, does he do that because he knows that parents kind of just want to do that to their kids sometimes? And again, with the honesty, just being very bare and open.
Right. I do think it was like, I think because he kind of was like, well, this one, it didn't work out, like talking about Aunt. So I think it's like they get the kids and they're nice to them a little bit in the beginning because they're like treating them, oh, this is our kid now. But then the novelty or whatever wears off, and that's when they get that urge, or he really gets that urge to like go find another family with another kid. Let's try this kid out. You know?
Because they obviously had like plenty of funds. They could sell those watches. They had so much stuff in the basement. They could sell those things to like make money. So obviously it's not for that. Like,
no, it's the hunt.
Again, loves the hunt, loves to play the game. Oh, are we boring you?
No, sorry.
Sorry, Alyssa.
Sorry, it's getting dark in here.
It is really dark. It's not even like 5 yet.
No. Do you guys think it's really cold outside?
It is. It is 5. It's 5:30.
Oh, it's 5:30.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh, y'all are so cute.
Thank you.
I So cute.
You guys can't see it, but Alyssa has a really
It was the
lovely
night
photo of her and her
before we got
husband.
married.
That was your
Aw.
rehearsal dinner?
Mm-hmm. Or the I don't know. We were at the Grove like the night before, like setting stuff up.
Oh.
Anyways, so all that to be said, do you guys slash it or slay it?
Before we do that, I have an out. No, I'm kidding. You think I was going to say nothing. I want us to go around and say what when it made the trailer better to make us want to have watched this.
Okay.
Because also I've been having a huge problem with trailers.
Yeah.
Because I watched Challengers for the first time.
Oh, really?
Which I loved.
Love Challengers.
I hated that commercial because I thought it was going to be like a sex fest. And I hate being sold on something. I hate when something is trying to sell me something. I feel like that trailer for Speak No Evil was trying to sell me a horror movie. I don't want to be sold to.
Yeah.
So I think, what would you have done to make it? Because there weren't that many jump scares. There wasn't that much like to be scared of. The situation was already terrifying. And James McAvoy was terrifying in his own right the whole entire time.
Yeah. I think it could have been more subtle. Definitely. I feel like they you knew from the beginning what the deal was. They could have, I don't know. I feel like they could have, I don't know, made it a little bit like you're questioning a little bit more. I don't know.
I think they did show all their cards
Yeah.
in the trailer. Even to the point where, like, that one time that she nicks her finger.
Yeah, they did.
Like, everything.
I knew that. The Cotton Eye Joe thing, which was, like...
Kind of a big deal.
It was a very good scene. It's a very good scene.
And kind of pivotal.
And a pivotal... Yes, exactly. A pivotal scene. And they showed pretty much the whole thing in the trailer.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like the only, like, thing that was a mystery to me was, like, the very ending. Like, whenever they're escaping.
Yeah.
I feel like that was the only thing that I did not see coming. Everything else, I was like, yeah, all right. Yep.
I did wonder, to y'all's point, I also wish they wouldn't have showed all their cards, because I was like, oh, if this is just the foretaste, then I'm not going to be able to handle the actual film. And that's why I was very hesitant to watch it for a long time.
Exactly.
I'm not a gore person. I'm not really much of a horror fan. So, but turns out, no, you saw the worst of it during the trailer.
Yeah.
And it was interesting to me that they showed the tongue cutting motion, because it's like, that's the reveal.
Yeah.
That's the big plot twist. Why is that in the trailer? Sorry, marketing team. Y'all did a wonderful job and probably do better than I ever would, but
as a consumer, they did it because it's like, oh, that's scary the way he's doing that. It's
they did all this,
and because with the music, was like,
cut her finger.
Not like a honking, but you know.
No, the violin. Yeah, they're like, oh, it's scary. It's a scary movie. They're trying to.
What? Okay. Anyways,
sorry about that, guys.
Whoops! Krampus came down our chimney.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I think that, I don't know. Again, like I said, I feel like trailers are really trying to sell you on something. They were trying to sell you on a horror movie. And I'm just like, I'm sick of that. Like, I want a trailer to be enticing. And I feel like it's been a long time since I've seen a trailer that was, like, accurate. I feel like Nosferatu was pretty accurate to what we got.
I don't even think I watched the trailer for Nosferatu.
I think I saw it, like, once or twice. And like, okay, I get it. But, like, think about Heretic. That's not what it was to me. But, I don't know. I would have made it better by, again, a lot less subtle. Don't show all your cards. I think I would have made it more look like just a, like, kind of off situation. Like a situation that could go either way.
Yeah.
Because it is unsettling. It's an unsettling situation to be in. And his acting is unsettling a lot of the time. So I think I would have just, like, showcased that. Yeah. Because seeing him act would have, like, got me in the seat, you know? I don't know. That's my thought.
There's a very good movie, and I kind of want to watch the trailer for it, knowing the reveal now. And I'll just tell y'all because you probably won't watch it. It's called The Perfect Getaway. And it follows this couple that just got married. It has Steve Zahn in it. I don't remember who the wife is. And then they like meet this couple. They're like hiking through Hawaii, and they meet this couple they're a little bit out there.
Run.
And it's Timothy Oliphant. I'm not sure who the wife was there. And there's like kind of strange things happening. The couple's like acting weird. The couple that just got married is like, you know, we should ditch them. Like, it was very similar to this like situation. But the twist at the end was that it was actually the couple that just got married. They were actually the bad ones.
Ooh.
It was all from like their perspective, and then they were trying to kill the other couple because they're like scammers and like stuff like that.
Oh, that's interesting.
So it'd be interesting to see the trailer to see like how they did it.
Was,
like it could have been the I mean, even if like not necessarily like make the trailer like make the McAvoy's family like seem normal, but I don't know, just like
no, again, like you don't know which way it's gonna go.
Yeah,
I think
because we knew what way it was gonna go the entire time.
Right,
from the trailer
exactly.
Immediately. Yeah, showing like the kind of pivotal scene of where he's like laid bare how weird he is and evil.
Yeah.
Going back to the quote that you liked when he said, "Because you let us," that reminds me of The Strangers, which I obviously haven't seen. Do you know the iconic line in The Strangers? It's like home invasion, and they like come in. I haven't even seen it.
They're like, "Why are you doing this to us?" And one of the masked people's like, "Because you were home."
And like that's how he was
like,
"Because you're home." Like
you're
that's
home.
all. And I do think that that's like kind of missed in horror sometimes too, because it's just like it can happen to anyone for, you know, a lot of the times horror is for like this reason that you specifically blah 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 blah, or you put yourself in the situation, but it's like it could happen to anyone.
Yeah.
Just because you're home, or just because you wanted to be pleasant and avoid confrontation.
Yeah. Just let someone do it.
Yeah. Overall, I slay it. Never thought I'd even talk about it.
Nadine?
I slay it.
Okay.
What are you gonna say?
I will say, before I give my rating, I have an announcement.
Oh, you're pregnant.
No. No. I think if I had watched this by myself, I would probably not have the same feelings as I have at watching it with you, lovely ladies. It's just more fun to watch movies like this, scary movies, thriller movies, with other people, because
Truly.
you're kind of going through it. You're kind of like poking fun at stuff, saying what you do in the situation. So I think almost even more so than seeing it in theaters.
I agree.
I think that this, just the environment and the situation, makes me slay it.
Yay! Yeah, I don't know if I'd
Triple
enjoy
slay.
this one in theaters.
I would take it too seriously, maybe.
I think I would know that they're taking it so seriously, then I'd be like, y'all are being ridiculous. Like, this is a horror movie.
That might be how I feel.
Yeah. And
Maybe though. I don't know.
I don't know if I'd be like, actually.
Me and Emily were dying at the Cotton Eye Joe scene. We used to do me and Emily we're performers, we're vocalists, and so we've had our share of like trainers and
Dance captains, choreographers,
choreographers, everybody. So we've absolutely been spoken to.
Oh yeah, that
things
I was like
thrown at
having
us.
trauma. That was the scariest part to me.
But do it again on rhythm.
I was like freaking out.
You're just dancing. That's not dancing.
Yeah.
We've had that said to us.
They're like, you want water? Dance for it. Like,
more energy.
Yeah.
I'm literally dying.
Like that, when we all three met in a show.
We did.
And that show, I've never been yelled at more to like
my
smile
gosh.
when I'm pretty sure my teeth were gonna fall out.
Yes.
from
Tears
smiling.
coming out down your
literally.
And we're also dancing in the smallest like little side theater,
Your
not
long
even the actual
limbs
theater,
everywhere.
and it's like dance full out, and we're like, we don't have room. Oh my god, it's gonna piss me off.
Yeah, it was like actually triggering.
Yeah.
It was like, and the way he looked at Ben and like gave him the nastiest.
Yay, guys!
Yeah, he was like, good job, and he was like, you think that's good? Like
that was
I
hysterical.
know the professor that I have in mind that you know who I'm also thinking of. Yeah, and so I can see her doing that entirely, or breaking a pencil, as she did that one time. Yeah, so that was definitely triggering, really hard to watch.
Try making copies for her.
Oh, hard. That's hard, yeah. Tough. Oh, I forgot we all three have had our own trauma
I
from
just
the
had a
same week.
I
different
forgot I knew
angle.
you guys. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I forgot we're friends.
Forgot you've seen me at my worst.
I think we've all seen each other at our worst.
I also
At our
think,
best.
yes,
At our best.
at our best. And all in the in-between times. And so
Amen.
thankful for you guys.
Likewise. Thank you for having me on as the first ever guest.
You're welcome.
And I'm
That's fun.
also glad that we saw this here so that I could say,
Yeah.
I hope Ben dies about 20 times. And he was like not on stage for 10 minutes. And I was like,
Not
"Oh,
on
guys,
stage."
Not on stage for 10 minutes.
He was on stage.
This is a
This is a
theater.
theater.
This is a theater. You can do this as a fun play.
It would be actually.
It could be a
Actually?
really fun play.
This could be a play.
It could be a cool play. I could see minimal set, maybe the stage in half to really represent the two different couples. And one is like their bedroom, the other is this, and then the wall could go flat in between. It was on risers with wheels. Sorry guys, I'm just blocking real quick.
No, we're just gonna create this as a play.
Yeah.
Well, this was a foreign movie. Was it French?
Mm-hmm.
And apparently the foreign movie is like more gruesome, like really extreme. Yeah.
Maybe we need to.
Should we watch that one next?
We should
I don't know
watch
if you
that
can
one.
handle it, Nadine. Okay.
I don't know if Nadine
just
can
cover our
handle
eyes.
it. Has a completely different ending.
Oh
I've
really?
heard. Mm-hmm.
Reminds me of Funny Games too. I mean, the Funny Games also was foreign and had a remake.
True.
But
that
I
was
think
a
that one's like beat for beat. Yeah. I don't know. Speaking of Evil, the French version was in like 2004.
I thought it was more recent than
14?
that.
Maybe. I know there's a 4 maybe. I know there's at least a 2.
There's at least a foe in it.
There's at least a 2.
Oh. Anyways, thank you so much, Nadine, for
Thank you guys.
Being our
here
first guest.
I appreciate it. This is such a blast.
and hanging out.
Same
with
time
us.
next year?
Same time next year,
Same time
guys.
next year, we'll make her watch another movie.
Ooh.
See no evil.
See no evil. And it's just same thing, just eyes.
He can talk. It's only like 30 minutes because he's like, guys, you're never gonna guess this. Guys, come down here.
You're never gonna guess what happened.
Hey guys, he's gonna kill you. It's very
I can't
short.
see you, but
It's a very
He
short
is gonna-
movie.
he's
You have to
gonna
you're gonna have to help me get in the car, but let's get out of here right now.
Wait, I just realized something.
what?
So you know the note that he tries to give the little girl?
Yeah.
So, and we can't, it was in a different language. I thought it was in English, and I was trying to, figure it out. That kid cannot speak English. That's why they go to Italy. That's why they go to all these different foreign countries, is so
I
that
didn't
they
even think
can't
about that.
communicate, with just
But
writing
he
a
can
message.
understand English, but he can't write English.
I don't
I
know
mean,
if he
that's
could.
a lot of
He
in
can understand
Italy.
it, though.
I feel like for the most part.
Maybe he could understand it at that point, but he was still a
everybody
child.
knows English like that. They don't can't necessarily write it.
Write it necessarily
Yeah.
if he hasn't learned to write English yet.
Yeah.
Just
And
a little
that
tidbit.
That's what-
Interesting.
okay,
That's actually
okay,
interesting.
Nadine.
I didn't even see that.
that's what she said. It was gobbledygook. Was that what
Yeah,
she said?
she said it was gobbledygook.
I was like, excuse me, girl. It was what now? Silly girl.
He ate it,
That was so sad.
and he felt like he had to eat it.
Oh.
'Cause he was like,
I felt so bad for that poor kid.
I know. He was a good little actor too.
He was a
Oh,
great actor.
fantastic.
He didn't have a freaking tongue.
He couldn't even speak. Yeah, and when they showed that
Well-
picture with the tongue sticking out,
With all those, yeah.
so good.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him. I don't care if he becomes little Dexter. He deserves
Oh
it.
yeah, Emily has a prediction that this is now going to be like Dexter Scotland Yard.
They have Dexter at the OG will now be called Dexter Miami Vice, and then this will be Dexter Scotland Yard. And then they got a
Exactly.
crossover Dexter meets Sherlock.
Oh yeah,
That would be awesome.
that would be cool.
Let's make it.
Just make it right now.
Okay.
All right, ladies.
All right, ladies.
All right, ladies. That can be our new jingle.
What?
All right, ladies. All right, ladies. All right, ladies.
Wait. All right, ladies.
All right, ladies.
It's a little minor. It's okay. It's fine.
It's fine.
Y'all
You
flats?
call that singing?
Flat?
Not singing. Heard that one too. Many times.
Well, we love you guys. Please don't forget to follow us on Instagram at /and/slaypod, on TikTok at /and/slaypod. And Nadine, where can they find you?
You guys can find me at _ Nadine Booth. That's on Instagram, and at Vote for Nope on TikTok.
Woo!
I love her
And she has an
TikToks.
awesome TikTok, so you guys go follow her over there.
Appreciate
does.
you guys.
I think you don't follow us over there. Y'all should follow her at least.
Follow her more than us. She
Yeah.
produces much more content.
We never.
We never do that. That's okay. It's going away now.
True.
Anyways.
Love you guys.
Bye.